What's up guys, in this video I'm going to show you some creative ways you can utilize my sample pack Bass Candy. So let's get right into it. In this project here, what I did was at the drop, you see all these files, I took little sections from Bass Candy and just put them in and used them as like bass fills. So let's just take a listen. And I believe it was from Bass Candy number 9. One of them. Something similar to this file, but you get 88 files. So let's just hear them by themselves. So it's just finding little sections of these files that you can just drag in and, you know, get creative with, experiment with. So what you would do, you just drag in the whole file, then solo it or whatever. And you could go through and listen to it and see what you like, or you could just experiment and get random with it, chop it at different parts just to get creative with it. When you have your drop, you have your actual bass line, which is playing the notes. So you have your VSD, which is actually playing the notes, and say like, you know, the bass plays, and then once the snare hits, the actual bass cuts off, and then you drag in some Bass Candy to give it a cool vibe. So that's one way you can use these Bass Candy files. And each file is in D sharp, so sometimes you would have to pitch it. In Logic, you can just, when you're on the file, this transpose, you can switch it to whatever key you want. Or if you have a pitch shift plugin like Wave Sound Shifter, you can do that. Any other pitch plugin. But yeah, every file is D sharp because it translates best. It gives the cleanest sound when you're translating to other notes. Now another way you can use these files is just dragging them into a sampler. So in Logic, if you just hover over this section here, you'll get this list of samplers. Let's put it in Alchemy Granular. So once you're at this point, the whole file is going to play on the keyboard. So right now it's in Granular. When it's in Granular, it kind of gives it more of like a lo-fi sound. When you're in Samplers, it's clean. You see right here, you get the whole file. So this start, or wherever you put it, is where it's gonna start in the Bass Candy file. You can turn it into a synth too, so you get these crazy bass sounds, but you can also turn it into a synth. The thing in Logic is right here, if you turn it to touch, basically now when you click anything, it's going to show up as automation right here. And that's pretty much with any plugin. So like if you put I don't know, a delay, anything you touch is gonna show up here for automation, so you can manually put in whatever automation you want. That's just a cool trick if you didn't know. So say you're using 808s, like come up with your bass line, you'll have the MIDI for it, then after, take that MIDI, duplicate it, and put it on a track like this, so then you can experiment with like what can sound good. And you can also reverse it and get some pretty cool results too. So in the sampler mode is playing the same rate, but in Granular, I think the higher you go up, the faster it goes, but you can also mess with the speed here. That's one way you can just use the raw file in Alchemy. Another way you can do it, choose a preset. So let's do arpeggiated. I'm just gonna pick a random preset. Okay, this turbulent beat machine. And now let's just mute all the other files. And for this file, let's import a bass candy file. Have it on pitch, import. So now it's gonna play the effects of that preset through the bass candy file. This is another way you can get some cool different sounds. Whoa. That's pretty trippy. So now here you got this morph pad thing. Run it through and get some different variations. Again, you can just experiment. So this is just one preset. Clear modulation. Trippy. So that's just one. There's a million presets, and again, you can like automate all this stuff just to get the craziest sounds. Let's try an actual bass preset. Bass complex. So this is the preset. Now let's do the same thing. Import a bass candy. Just getting trippy variations of these sounds. So like something like that, you could use at like the intro of your track, just for like kind of like a soundscape. Could be like a reverse cymbal or something. You could probably use that as percussion or something. So these, you can just experiment, have fun with all the presets, because some of these presets can actually manipulate it like pretty heavily. And you get 88 files to mess around with. I want to do another one just because it's fun. Auto wobbler. Let's try this one. Import 82. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You can turn that into a riser. I could just go all day just experimenting, having fun with it, but that's another way. So just utilizing the presets, just picking random presets and then switching out the oscillators, the files, or the sources, I mean. So just picking the presets and then switching out the sources, turning off all the other ones, and then importing a bass candy. And then from there, just playing around with all these. Another way is you can use it as percussion elements. So what I like to do is just find a section that kind of sounds like. Let's put a shaper box on it. You can just get some interesting so just get a section you like, put it over your drums, quantize it, and then put like a shaper box on it, something so it's giving it like the side chain, and you kind of get some cool grooves. imagine what kind of creativity you can get down with doing that. Try out just some different sections of bass jams. Kind of like that part. Just gotta experiment. Again, it's just finding little parts that could be cool. You can imagine how fun this would be when you actually have a full track laid out and you're like getting creative with it. This is just for demonstration purposes, but that was crazy. And you could like make a bass line out of it. Just, you know, just for demonstration purposes. Now let's turn this into a synth. So this one preset I have, sound design, atmospheric song. Okay, now we got a nice synth. I'm just gonna show you guys this. So we got a serum effects. We got this guitar rig, shifters. This is like a reverb. Then I got shaper box doing the pumping effect. Then I got some OTT. Then I got the synth bus preset on shaper box again. I got an EQ taking out the low one, and then a limiter. And then you get kind of more of an atmospheric sound. So this is just turning the sounds into a synth lead. You can get a whole bunch of different trippy sounds, but we're just trying to make a lead. So what I did, I just picked a random preset in Alchemy and then changed all the sources and put the bass candy in. So just at this little part here, it gives this like kind of plucky. Even that could just be some cool effect, you know? You can just make all these crazy effects. Try a different bass candy. That's pretty trippy. Once again, you can just get super creative with it. Just get some like sounds that you don't ever hear. Pretty neat. But yeah, it's just endless ways you can sample these files. Another way you could sample it is in Serum. If you have Serum, either tossing it into the noise sampler. And then it's kind of the same thing. The phase changes where it starts. And that's one way you can get like some glitchy soundscapes. You could turn that into a kick. can even drag it into the oscillators. You can drag these files. So this is like the whole wavetable. So another way to create a synth. Now what if we put another bass candy in and oscillator B, see what happens. There's tons of ways you can experiment and go into the effects if you know how to use Serum. Again, I'm just demonstrating some different ways you can use these files. Alright, another way. Let's just pick a random one. I kind of did in the beginning, but again, just chopping up at random points. And then what I do, take all of it and convert it to a new sampler track. So now all these chops are different keys. So this can be really useful when you're at the drop of your song, and then you can just experiment. So this would be more for like finding those little fills that sound good at certain sections. I know you could do some cool stuff with it. You could do some cool things. It's each a different key that I'm playing. So that's another way, just chop it up. Either you go in and hear little parts you want to chop up, but I like to do it randomly just because you get stuff you never would have gotten. You can actually turn these into risers. I don't know, that was a cool sound, but I was going to show you guys how to do a riser. That's got off track there. You know, so that's one way. Let's try another one. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, so just another way you can experiment and create risers out of these files. Yeah. Lots of cool stuff you can do. I'm sure you guys will discover new ways you can utilize these bass candy files. Very unique. I haven't seen any sample packs that offer something like this. Yeah, have fun.